To make this 5x5 sandbox, you'll first want to start out with buying two 2x8s or 2x10s by 10 feet long, depending on how deep you want to make it. I made it with 2x10s. You'll cut them in half. Your first one will be perfect for the top board and the bottom one. The second one you cut in half, you'll need to shorten by 2.5 inches to make up for the depth of these two. When you measure from the very bottom to the very top, you should get 5 feet, and from the very side to this very side, you should get 5 feet. Screw them all together with 1, 2, 3 screws on each corner. To give a little extra support, you can get a 2x4 and cut it on an angle, 45s, and screw them in as well. That gives it stability if you ever have to move it. For the bottom, you can get landscaping fabric, and you can either staple it in with stainless steel staples, or you can put a 2x4 on there and just screw it down in each corner, and that'll hold the landscaping fabric. For the top, you're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2x6s by 10s. You cut them right in half, and that's all you need. You're also going to need 1 2x4 by 10 for the inside, and then 2 more to make these 2 backrests and the 4 corners on the inside if you want. You'll need 8 hinges. Your first hinge will be there, second hinge there, third, fourth, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. So you're going to first, after you get your box built, start out by screwing these top 2 boards in on the top and bottom, and then you're going to screw in your first hinge to the top of these 2. When you go into the second board though, there's a trick. On the back side, you're going to need a railing. I recommend using a 2x6, but you can also use a 2x4, whatever you have scrap lying around, and you're going to bring those screws right into the railing. You do that for both the top and the bottom. And then on this piece right here, you screw them into this board over here, into this one. Now the trick is, to get these holes lined up right, is you set this hinge on this side, screw them through first 4 times, and that way when you take this hinge off, you can see where the holes line up underneath. Set the bracket there, put your screws through this and into this piece of lumber to give you extra support. Once again, you do that on the second side. Over here, you can just screw into this 2x6, and on the back you do the same thing but with a 2x4, just as a little extra support, and it acts as a backrest. When it comes down, it hits here, and you're going to want to cut it so when it's fully folded back, you hit about the bottom. That gives a nice angle to your backrest. You repeat the same steps for here. These 2 are just mounted right onto the edge. Then you just buy this one, you screw that in there. Once again, that bracket screws all the way into this 2x6. And then there's another hinge tucked in behind here, which if you need a template, just take that and screw it in there so you have a template. Then this 2x4 holds these 2 together. And there you go. I added braces in all 4 corners. If you don't have a way of cutting 45s, if you buy a 4x4 and just cut it at 8 inches or 10 inches and screw it in, that'll do the exact same effect, just a little bit heavier. It would also help if you put the 4x4 there, it could hold your landscaping fabric a little bit better than mine. One thing I learned is try to go with a lighter landscaping fabric. Mine was too waterproof, so it held the water for quite a long time. So a supply list one more time is 2 2x10s or 2x8s by 10 feet, 6 2x6s by 10 feet, and 4 2x4s by 10 feet. And for the most part, you're just cutting every board in half with the exception of These ones and the handrails, you just kind of take a measurement. I believe this is about 12 inches, and this one right here is about 24 inches.